Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today, we're diving deep into an important topic that's been on many people's minds: your SNAP benefits, also referred to as food assistance or EBT benefits, and what beneficiaries can expect as we move through December and into the new year. I've been receiving numerous messages and inquiries from concerned individuals who experienced significant anxiety during the early part of November. The uncertainty surrounding benefit deposits left many people worried about whether their assistance would arrive on time, and understandably so. That period was incredibly challenging for millions of families who depend on these vital benefits to put food on the table. Let me address these concerns directly and provide you with clarity on what's happening moving forward. Here's what you absolutely need to understand about the current state of SNAP funding. When the government funding issues were resolved in mid-November, legislators took decisive action. They passed a short-term continuing resolution that extends general government operations through late January. However, and this is the crucial part, embedded within that legislation was something far more significant for SNAP recipients. Congress approved full-year appropriations specifically for the SNAP program extending all the way through September 2026. This represents a massive commitment to ensuring food security for vulnerable populations. Let me break down exactly what this funding authorization means for you. Stability through October 2026. From December 2025 through September 2026, the SNAP program has dedicated pre-approved funding. This means that barring any extraordinary circumstances, there should be no interruptions in benefit distribution, no delayed payments, no partial payments, like many experienced in November, no uncertainty about whether your benefits will arrive. Consistent, predictable deposits according to your state's regular schedule. The money has been allocated, appropriated, and set aside specifically for this purpose. The Department of Agriculture has access to these funds, and state agencies responsible for distributing benefits can process payments without the complications we saw during the funding gap. I want to acknowledge something important here. Many of you have expressed that you've lost confidence in the system. You've shared feelings of abandonment, frustration, and genuine fear about your food security. Those feelings are completely valid and understandable. The first 2 weeks of November created a situation where millions of Americans didn't know where their next meal would come from. Families were left in limbo, scrambling for answers that weren't readily available. The constant uncertainty, the conflicting information, and the lack of clear communication from official sources created a perfect storm of anxiety. If you're feeling skeptical right now, asking yourself, how can I trust that this won't happen again? That's a reasonable question. Trust is earned through consistent action, not just promises. Here's the honest assessment. Based on current legislative action, December benefits should proceed normally. The infrastructure is in place, the funding is secured, and state agencies are operating under normal conditions again. Could there be minor technical glitches as systems fully stabilize after the November disruption? It's possible. Technology isn't perfect, and large-scale benefit distribution systems are complex. However, any such issues would be technical in nature, not funding-related, and would likely be resolved quickly. The fundamental difference between now and early November is this: the money exists, it's been approved, and it's available for distribution. That wasn't the case during the government funding lapse. Many people are asking this critical question. If the system is supposed to work, why did it fail so spectacularly in November? The answer lies in how government funding operates. When Congress fails to pass appropriations or a continuing resolution before the fiscal deadline, government agencies lose their legal authority to spend money, even on programs as essential as food assistance. It's not that the money disappeared, it's that agencies couldn't legally disperse it without congressional authorization. Once legislators passed the continuing resolution with the SNAP appropriations in mid-November, that legal barrier was removed and the funds could flow again. The September 2026 funding deadline might seem far away, but it's worth understanding what happens as we approach it. The fiscal year for the federal government runs from October 1st through September 30th. The current SNAP appropriations cover through the end of fiscal year 2026, which ends on September 30th, 2026. This means we're looking at roughly 10 months of secured, uninterrupted funding from where we stand now. As we get closer to October 2026, Congress will need to address funding for the following fiscal year. Whether they pass another continuing resolution, a full year appropriation, or face another potential funding gap will depend on the political dynamics of that moment. But here's the key point. That's a bridge to cross in late 2026. For now, through the entirety of the 2025 holiday season, winter, spring, and summer of 2026, SNAP benefits are secured. Let me be very specific about what beneficiaries should anticipate. Regular payment schedule. Your benefits should be deposited according to your state's normal distribution schedule. Each state operates on its own calendar, with some distributing all benefits on a single day and others staggering payments throughout the month based on factors like case numbers or last names. Full benefit amounts. You should receive your complete monthly allocation. No partial payments, no prorated amounts, nothing withheld. Normal processing times. Any changes to your case, recertifications, or updates should process according to standard timelines. Typical communication channels. If you need to contact your local benefits office, normal channels should be fully operational. It's important to remember that while SNAP is a federal program, it's administered at the state level. This means payment dates vary by state. Some states may need a few extra days to ensure all systems are running smoothly after the November disruption. Your state's Department of Human Services or equivalent agency remains your primary point of contact for specific questions about your case. If you're uncertain about your specific payment date, I encourage you to check your state's benefits website or contact your caseworker directly. What if my December payment is late? If your payment doesn't arrive on your scheduled date, first verify you're looking at the correct date for your state and case. If it's genuinely late, contact your local office immediately. Given the November situation, states are likely to be particularly responsive to payment inquiries. Should I prepare for another shutdown? The next potential funding challenge isn't until late January, when the current continuing resolution expires. However, that deadline involves general government funding. The SNAP appropriations extend much further through September 2026. So even if there were a brief shutdown in late January, SNAP benefits would be protected differently than they were in November. Can I rely on getting benefits consistently now? Based on the current legislative framework, yes. The 10-month funding window provides substantial stability. Of course, Congress could theoretically change course, but the full-year appropriation represents a strong commitment to the program. SNAP serves approximately 42 million Americans. That's roughly 1 in 8 people in this country. It's one of the most effective anti-hunger programs ever created, keeping millions of children, elderly individuals, people with disabilities, and working families from going hungry. The November disruption highlighted just how many people rely on these benefits and how catastrophic it is when the system fails. It also demonstrated that food insecurity isn't just an individual problem. It's a societal issue that affects entire communities when benefit disruptions occur. Many grocery stores reported decreased sales. Food banks saw increased demand they struggled to meet, and healthcare providers noted increased stress-related visits from worried beneficiaries. The ripple effects of the funding gap extended far beyond just SNAP recipients. The fact that Congress included full-year SNAP funding in the continuing resolution suggests legislators recognized the severity of the November situation and wanted to prevent it from recurring. I want to leave you with this. While healthy skepticism is reasonable given what happened in November, the current situation is fundamentally different. The funding is secured, the authorization is in place, and state agencies are operating normally. You should feel confident making plans for December knowing your benefits will be there. You can make grocery lists, budget for the month, and approach the holiday season with one less thing to worry about. That said, staying informed remains important. Keep an eye on any communications from your state benefits office, monitor your EBT card balance as you normally would, and don't hesitate to reach out to your caseworker if you have questions about your specific case. The November experience was traumatic for many families. It exposed vulnerabilities in how critical programs are funded and highlighted the real-world consequences when political processes break down. If you're still processing the stress and anxiety from that period, those feelings are valid. For those who need additional food assistance beyond SNAP, remember that food banks, community organizations, religious institutions, and local charities often provide supplementary support. Many communities have resource coordinators who can connect you with multiple forms of assistance. If you're struggling with food insecurity despite receiving SNAP benefits, some states offer additional programs for specific populations: senior nutrition programs, WIC for women and children, school meal programs, and more. Don't hesitate to ask about what else might be available to you. As we head into December and the holiday season, I hope this information provides some peace of mind. Your SNAP benefits should arrive as scheduled, in full, according to your state's normal distribution calendar. The funding is in place, the systems are operational, and the disruption we experienced in November is behind us. The next potential funding consideration isn't until late next year, giving everyone nearly a full year of stability and predictability. That's significant, and it's worth acknowledging. I'll continue to monitor this situation and provide updates if anything changes. But for now, the outlook is positive and stable. Take care of yourselves, and I wish you all a peaceful and secure holiday season. You deserve stability and dignity in accessing the food assistance you rely on. Here's hoping that December marks the beginning of a much smoother period ahead. Thank you for taking the time to stay informed, and please don't hesitate to share this information with others who might benefit from understanding the current situation. Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to navigating government benefit programs. Stay well, and I'll keep you updated as we move forward.